Okay, so we are going to go ahead and finish our notes that we started last class on the future tense. Now I'm ready to get this over with. I've already recorded this like once or twice and messed up right at the very end, so we're going to power through. Go ahead and get your notes out. If you need a set of notes, you lost yours or you weren't here last class, ask Mr. Franklin. He's got some. So if you need to come get those, we'll pause the video and get you taken care of. So we're going to jump kind of in the middle. So we're going to talk about the future tense today. And quite obviously, the future tense is used to talk about what will or will not happen in the future. And the great thing about the future tense, the thing that I absolutely love, is that all three types of verbs in Spanish, the AR, ER, and IR verbs, are going to use the exact same set of endings. So that makes your lives so much simpler. So what we do with the future tense is we take the infinitive form of the verb and we add a new ending in addition to the infinitive. So an example, the word comer. So comer is an infinitive because it ends in ER. Hablar is an infinitive because it ends in AR. And then vivir is an infinitive because it ends in IR. So we're just going to add new endings to the end of this word. We're not going to drop anything, not going to change anything. So here are those endings that we are going to add. We have as, a, hemos, es, an. Give you guys about 30 seconds to write those down, and then we'll scoot on to the next slide. Okay, so at the bottom of the first page of your notes, you'll notice that there's a big chart that has the verbs hablar, comer, and vivir. So what you are going to do, you are going to go through and you're going to write the different conjugations for each of those verbs. Now, I've already given you the infinitive, so you don't have to write it 24 billion different times, I don't know. So you take the infinitive, like let's say the first one is the yo form of hablar, and then we are going to add the yo ending to the end. So hablaré is I will talk. So go through, you can fill those out. Should be a relatively quick process, because even though the three columns are different verbs, they'll have the same endings. Okay, I know that was quick, but like I said, should be fairly simple. And what you have should look similar to this. You should have hablaré, hablarás, hablará, hablaremos, hablaréis, hablarán. Same set of endings in the same place 3 times. So like for example, let me use my little clicker. So if I say él hablará, that would be he will talk. If I say tú comerás, that'll be you will eat. If I say nosotros viviremos, it's a very inspiring phrase. We will live. So these are all in the future tense. How great. So moving on to the second page of your notes, at the very top you have a section to complete these practices. So they have 1 through 6. You've been given a subject and a verb. You need to write the complete conjugation into the future tense. Okay, so we're going to move on and look at these answers. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time because I can only record in 15-minute increments. And I really don't want to record it again and mess up. So number 1, we have mis padres trabajarán en el jardín este verano. So my parents will work in the garden this summer. Number 2, yo montaré en bicicleta la próxima semana. So I will ride my bike next week. Nosotros comeremos juntos para tu cumpleaños. So we will eat together for your birthday. Number 4, Mary y Juan pintarán una pintura para la clase de arte. So Mary and Juan will paint a picture for art class. Number 5, mis hermanos nadarán en la piscina este fin de semana. So my brothers or my siblings will swim in the pool this weekend. And number 6, tú cocinarás algo delicioso para la fiesta. So you will cook something delicious for the party. So if you notice in every single one of these, you have the complete infinitive in blue, and additionally at the end you have those extra endings. So you do not drop anything, you do not change anything, you just add them to the end. So I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. So the great news, not good news, great news about the future tense is that there are no spelling changes, no stem changes, no irregular yo forms, like we've had in the past. So that can just allow you to let out a sigh of relief because it's wonderful. But with every silver lining, there is a little storm cloud. So the bad news is that there are 12 kind of random irregular verbs, but they are going to use the same endings as the regular verbs. So on your note page, you've been given a chart, and it has listed out the 12 irregular infinitives. It also tells you what they mean, and there's a space for you to write the new modification or the new base that we are going to use in place of the infinitive. So the first one is the verb caber, which is to fit. So the future tense modification, the future tense base that we are going to use is CABR. And then after that, we are going to add the appropriate ending to fit the situation or to fit the sentence. So an example, if you want to say, I will fit, you'd say, yo, take the base, CABR, and then you add the yo ending to it. Yo cabré. If I wanted to do nosotros, I'd take the base and then add the nosotros ending to it. So I'm going to pull up the chart that has the different bases or the different modifications that we are going to use. So we have caber, decir, haber, hacer, poder, poner, querer, saber, salir, tener, valer, and venir. So go ahead and write these down. We will be using them. I'll expect you to have them at the ready. Stay focused, guys. Make sure you're writing these down because I'm going to move on and I'd hate to leave you behind. Okay. So if worse comes to worse and you didn't get all these, just snag them from a neighbor. So we're going to do two examples in your notes. We're going to look at the verb poner and salir. And if you see here, I went ahead and in each section of the conjugation chart, I went ahead and put that irregular base that we are going to use. So for poner, it's P-O-N-D-R. And what you are going to do, you're going to go in and you're just going to add the ending that corresponds. So the yo form would be pondré with an E at the end. Tú pondrás, él y usted pondrá, pondremos, pondréis, pondrán. And the same thing with salir. So you start out, you fill in all the base, S-A-L-D-R, and then you'll go in after that and you're going to add in the ending. So once you have this done, this is what your conjugation boxes should look like. Now we are going to stop notes here, but listen to me. So you guys are going to receive a practice page. It's itty bitty, but I want you to take your time and I want you to do it correctly. Now I believe on this practice page there aren't any irregular verbs. So you are just going to follow the first process. You are just going to worry about rewriting the infinitive, and then in addition to the infinitive, adding on that new ending. So Mr. Franklin will give you those papers, and if you have any questions, I know it's not ideal for me to do this virtually, but if you have any questions that are still left, feel free to contact me via Remind, like Remind 101, and I'll try and get back with you as soon as possible. Love y'all. Have a good day.